In the shadows can enjoy a brief spell in the limelight, and today happily the sunlight as well.
Ladies
For
and
Blackpool,
gentlemen,
a first domestic cup final in nearly 50 years. For Cambridge, even more of a red letter day. It's their first ever experience of a cup final. Now in its seventh incarnation, this competition, which started in 1984 as the Associate Members' Cup, remains a central pillar of the Football League season. And where better to stage this lower division showpiece than in a stadium which has quickly become a natural home, if a temporary one, to English Cup finals. 4 weeks ago it hosted a Worthington Cup final that, like this, pitted North against South. Blackburn and Tottenham gave us a rare treat. Something similar today certainly wouldn't go amiss. Now, Steve McMahon was only in a position to name his team for this final this morning. Ian Marshall, Brian Reid and Danny Coyd were the doubts. Only Marshall has made it, but he's an important man for them in central defence. John O'Kane, once of Manchester United, comes in at right back. They have missed the goals of Brett Ormerod, sold to Southampton in December, but John Murphy has got 15 this season. He's partnered by Scott Taylor, a recent signing from Tranmere. So what do you make of that, David Fairclough?
Well, I think it is important that Marshall's back, obviously for his experience at the back and the ability to get on the end of vital crosses that no doubt they will throw in at Cambridge. The midfield areas, though, the lads have already spoken about Bullock and Hills down the flanks. That is a main area of concern. They contribute with a fair amount of goals themselves. I think they've both scored between 4 and 5. So, certainly Cambridge do have to try and combat that in some fashion. I think Taylor getting the vote ahead of Walker up front means, I think, that Blackpool are looking for his hard work and the way that he can occupy the back four.
The most familiar name in the Cambridge lineup is that of French goalkeeper Lionel Perez, who played in the Premiership for Sunderland. He's 34, but it's really a very young team with 3 teenagers, Adam Tan, Freddie Murray and Luke Guttridge, and 7 players are aged 22 or under. There is, though, experience and drive in midfield from Wanless and Ashby, and watch out for the front pairing of Kitson and Youngs too.
Well, they can score goals, certainly. There's a big onus on them because Cambridge they don't score that many goals, so they will look to their forwards more than anything else. It's important, though, that they do combat that threat, and we see that Angus has been moved over to play at right back. That is no doubt to combat Hills, whilst on the left-hand side, Tudor in the left side of midfield will look to really be pitted up against Martin Bullock. I think that will be an interesting battle as the game goes on.
The referee
why he's in there, because they know the threat of Yashin and Hills. Both like to get forward.
Both centre-backs are up, Chris Clark and Ian Marshall. They've not picked out Lee Collins particularly well. And there's Murphy! No flag, Blackpool in front. And it's the leading scorer, John Murphy.
Well, it's a simple header. Cambridge coming out, but the 2 players just sitting in there. I think it was Tom Youngs and Duncan just sitting, playing Murphy on. It was a great ball in, lovely little delivery. I'm sure Murphy couldn't believe his luck. It was a simple chance, but well taken.
Cambridge. Dave Kitson. Wanless. Now Ashby. Started his career at Derby. Angus, who started at West Ham. Yashin. Cambridge struggling to get a foothold in this game still, but that's a good ball. It's Tom Youngs with a chance. Was he tripped? It's a penalty kick.
Well, little doubt about that. It was a penalty, no doubt about it. Referee again perfectly placed.
Now, what about the card? Yashin picked out. It's a yellow for Tommy Yashin. I think there were covering defenders which perhaps saved him, but you've seen a red produced in those situations.
Well, I don't think it was cynical foul. I think he's just caught him. But it was O'Kane that was sitting deep on the right-hand side that played Youngs on. Really, had Kane been pushed out and had kept line, and that opportunity wouldn't have been there.
Cambridge have missed 7 penalties this season. Now is not the time to add to that list. It's one-less, and it's 1-1. And have you seen a calmer penalty than that?
Well, I suppose when you've missed so many penalties as a team, there will be anxiety around when you get the next one, but made no problems with that one. I think he allowed the goalkeeper to move a little bit earlier. He's just gone down the throat. But it was a good break by Cambridge. Wanless himself was trying to make a break into the penalty area, and a good run by
4 Blackpool players at the moment. It's like a set piece on a training ground rather than in the midst of a match. Like a drill rather than the real thing. In by Hills. Oh, and it's in! Chris Clark. First goal for Blackpool is the goal that puts them in front in the LDV final.
Well, I suspected that's where Cambridge have been having problems all season, because they didn't defend that very well. There was a line of 6 defenders and nobody really picked up anybody, and all those Blackpool bodies came in. Little flick on, free touch for Clark.
Kitson scored now and they're about to replace him. It's in by Guttridge and Kitson nearly got to it. It's Ashby!
Well, he probably feels he should have got it on target. It was a good challenge by Hughes in the first instance. Ashby had a lot of the goal to hit, he's pulled it.
Came up Collins, I think.
A little deflected, but I think it was going sort of to that corner. It was trying to go
ahead of him. Murphy trundling towards the penalty spot in hope. And Taylor got the cross in. And the header is not a good one, it's Richie Wellens. Played in for John Hills to try and finish it, and the deflection takes it in. It was going wide, but it hit a Cambridge player. And there are Cambridge men down on their knees now. Hills will claim it, even though it was going wide, but it took a crucial touch off Adam. No flag. Scott Taylor could finish it for Blackpool. They've won the LDV trophy. Their first major domestic cup since 1953. It's 4-1, it's Scott Taylor.
Well, it is all over now.